viewers. I hope all of you are well. That is under the sound of my voice watching this video. I know y'all weren't expecting for this next course to be dealing with divination, but yes, we are going in, baby. We are going into cartomancy. Cartomancy is using playing cards for divination purposes. Okay, yes, the go fish, yes, the spades, yes, the gin rummy. We talking about all of that. Poker honey, poker, poker, poker face. That's it right here, right? So I'm going to be showing you how to take a regular deck of playing cards and turn them into divination tools. Tools that can help you read into the past, the present, and the future to help your client or client better in their lives. We're talking about career, money, love, finances, any general walk of life. You can also use it for ancestral readings if that is indeed one of your gifts. You have to be able to be a channeler in order for you to be able to properly render ancestral readings, and you can't be just any type of channeler. You have to be able to channel those who have transitioned. That is a whole different type of thing. I personally, I don't think I would teach on that right now. That's not something I would teach on, but I want to focus on this cartomancy, okay? Quickly before I get into my notes, because y'all know I love to teach from my notes, and I was going to do it in power presentation form, but I wanted it to be more formal and more personal. I do want to give just a quick I want to lay down what I believe to be true, because I know most people believe that cartomancy and the tarot, most scholars that I have seen, that I've read about, that has been the ones who have done historical research on different artifacts dealing with magic, alchemy, and divination. Most of them point their fingers towards Italy. However, I know that any form of divination is older than the actual country, Italy. So I'm not here to argue where it came from, where the birthplace of it is, but what I am here to do is inform you and teach you what I believe to be the most accurate and best knowledge that I have came up with, the conglomerate of information that I have prepared for you today, for you to be able to give accurate readings with the cartomancy information that I'm going to be giving to you. So if you were very familiar about a few years back when I dropped the first cartomancy videos, that one is not to be compared to this one. This cartomancy course that I have created for you is extremely, in my humble opinion, way better, more accurate, and I just think it's going to be packed with simple but effective information that you can make extremely practical. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to break down the deck of cards, which breaks down into 4 suits, and 4 suits, each suit contains 13 cards. Okay, in this introduction, I'm going to be explaining in a group fashion of the suits, and then by suit I'm gonna break it down by video, each video. Okay, each suit is going to have its own video, but as a whole, as a whole, by each suit having 13 cards, 10 of them being number cards, 3 being court cards. Court cards is what we call royal cards, right? So the king, the queen, and the jack, or the knave, or the novice, okay? That would be most likely the equivalency to the page in the tarot. Now, I do want you to pay attention during this course that most of these cards will kind of sort of mimic the minor arcana in the tarot deck. However, I do not want you to bring any of your knowledge that you have of the tarot into cartomancy. So I want you to erase everything that you think you know, or that you do actually know about tarot. Throw it out of the window. Do not apply here. Even if some of these cards are extremely close to some of the same number cards that it may represent, okay? Because cartomancy has a different energy altogether, okay? You are using everyday playing cards, cards that you can have fun with friends and family with. And I'm not saying that tarot is not a fun system, but it's just that it's a system based on principles of life and universal law. Cartomancy can be used in everyday life with playing cards, having fun with family, or with divination, okay? I truly do believe that the original intent of these cards were most likely in between two worlds, okay? But I think there was the seriousness that kind of got bred out of it as we began to play with them on a daily basis, like with everyday family or gambling. Okay, so please understand that cartomancy does have power. It has extreme beautiful power. It's just not as serious, or let me say, as it is somewhat of a set system, but you would not play poker with a set of tarot deck cards. You just wouldn't. So just keep in mind that this has a whole different energy to it. All right. And it's going to resonate a little bit different with everybody. And it is going to gel with you. I do suggest that when you do get a deck of playing cards out of the store, that you get whatever speaks to you. Okay. If you see a Mickey Mouse set, or a pink set, or a purple set, or a custom set, please make sure that you get the deck of playing cards that speaks closest to your style, your liking, because this is what you're going to be using to basically divine for your client or yourself, or a mixture of both. With cartomancy, you want to make sure that the playing cards that you get, you can gel with, and when you touch them, you basically charge them. You can charge them with your energy. You can rub your hands together to do a friction like this, get it hot. Place your hands over your cards. You can activate them like that. You can thank them for choosing you, and them answering the call for you to choose them. You can also use the spirit of air, just by basically breathing on your deck, setting your intentions, breathing it, making it come alive to gel with your energy. You can do like the spray bottle of holy water to cleanse your deck. Of course, you know, this is more like a plasticky kind of waterproofish, but it's not totally PVC plastic, so I would not like douse water with it. Also, you could a crystal on top of them when you're not using them. Like I would use I would use a black stone just to clear the energy, and I would use a clear quartz to amplify the black stone, and also amplify the power of divination that would be, you know, in my deck before each usage. That's, if I were you, I would just, you know, put some of those things out. I don't personally do that every day, all day, or whatever, but if I have to cleanse any deck for that matter, I'm always going to use I'm always going to consult my spirit team no matter what I do. That's just how I rock. That's okay. So Cartomancy 101, this suit, 13 cards for each suit, is based on the 13th moon and zodiac calendar. Fun fact, did you know that Libra, the sign of Libra, actually is also a representation for the 13th moon in the 12th zodiac signs? So in the 12 zodiac signs, which means that Libra actually represents the sign that you can't see. And it makes sense because it's the only sign that's not animated. It's not a human nor an animal. So it makes sense that it's all across the board, balancing the whole entire calendar. And hey, not to toot my own horn, but beep beep go Libras. You know, I be going hard for my Libras. But anyway, whew, wow. I am also going to be creating a PDF file after this course that you all can download to have as a cheat sheet. Okay. So let's talk about hearts. Let's talk about hearts. If you don't know what hearts look like, it's going to be red. Okay. Now, the red deck for hearts is, and I'm going to be using flip-flopping for tarot, okay? But again, remember, throw out what you know and what you think you know, okay? If I had to put an element to this suit, it would be water, okay? It would be water. If I had to do cartomancy on side of a tarot deck, as a clarification, I know I could represent the hearts with cups, okay? For me, if you are inquiring about a time or season of the year, hey, shh, no. If you are inquiring about a time in a season of the year, sorry about that, y'all. This for me would be spring, okay? Because April showers brings May flowers. So for me, this would be spring. But if you did some of your research, you would find that most people say that this is autumn. I don't resonate it with being autumn. I resonate this the heart's suit being spring. And again, because it's water energy, and this is to help your seeds grow. Okay, you're gonna have to go back there. Sorry about that, y'all. You know, baby mystic. So talking about the heart suit, right? Talking about the heart suit, hearts are generally a good suit with good omens. They can indicate joy, love, parties, falling in love, social events, relationships of any kind. But too many hearts in a cartomancy spread, especially depending on what the inquiry was about, can indicate self-indulgence, over drinking, alcoholism, vices of any kind or sort, overeating, pleasure seeking, sex addictions, inconsiderations, and narcissism. Okay, again, depending on what you are reading on, because it all okay, let me stop right here. It all depends on what you are reading on. Different things will apply for different questions. I'm not going to be, though love, listen, spirit is going to do what spirit is going to do. You cannot control spirit, so you might as well just go ahead on and hang that up. So when you're doing these readings, you're going to do it according to how they're coming out and according to how these cards speak to you, okay? And I'll break down why I'm saying what I'm saying, because this could be, if it's love, this is of course a good omen for new love. All right, it's a really great omen for new love. However, if this comes out in money, you know what I'm saying, then it could mean something else, and we'll get into, I'll break down individually each card what they mean. Okay, I'm not going to do it right now. This is the intro, but I just want you to all look out for the heart suit, aka water suit, or if you want to put an image to it, cups. Okay, I do recommend that you stick with the hearts. I will be using or interchanging energies just so you can get familiar with the elements. If I say hearts can be cups, I know you're going to think water if you're already familiar with the tarot. So just for the lack of better terms or words, and for you to learn, I'm just going to use different elemental names and images just so you can transition over from tarot to cartomancy. Not saying that you should stop using tarot. I'm just saying for me to teach, okay? All right. For the clubs, right? We talk about clubs, okay? And between all four suits, they're either going to be black or red, okay? And I'll break that down toward the end of this video. All right, as you can see, this is what you call clubs. Okay, clubs is going to be represented by fire. In the tarot, you can compare them to the wands suit, right? Anytime you are inquiring about seasons, when is something going to happen for me? When is my client going to get XYZ? When this comes out, when you got a lot of clubs in your spread, this is for me denoting the summertime. When you look up cartomancy, most of them will tell you the season that it represents is spring. I do not go with that because wands is fire. Hot and summer goes together. The south is what you want to represent for your direction, okay? The south. And I want y'all to know that. The south, all right? Cups, cups. Hearts for the water for me will be let me come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that. That's gonna be for the end. I'm sorry. Diamonds. But before I go to diamonds, club is a suit that indicates newness. And I'm sorry that I'm kind of like all over. That's why I kind of do like these PowerPoint presentations, because it does help me like stay on point. Because by the time I'm done doing the presentation, all I got to do is add my voice and it's already in line. But this, I wanted to do it like this because it's extremely personal. It gives me a chance to be able to add to what I already have written down, because a lot of times the Holy Spirit will inspire me. Spirit will inspire me. My ancestors sometimes be chattering in my ear, letting me know what to say and giving y'all other little bits and pieces of stuff that I can add as I'm flowing. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I'm doing it this way. So I hope y'all don't mind. The club suit, clubs, fire. You can again apply this like wands, okay? The equivalency to the wands suit in the tarot and the minor arcana. This is a suit that's going to indicate newness, opportunities, action, physical implications, okay? Anything physical, new friendships, collaborations, the ability to take action. It's also indications of hard work, working, setting goals, achieving goals. This can also indicate wealth, luck, and a growth, as far as growing into a mature state, a mature mind by way of actually putting in the work. Okay. This can also denote new partnerships leading to marriage. Okay. New partnerships leading to marriage. The club suits also deals with contracts, leases, and refinancings of debt. All right. Now, general negative connotations with the club suits will be workaholism, okay, guarding yourself against overworking, okay, overworking yourself, again, overindulgence of just working too damn much, also not willing or being afraid to take new chances. All right, so you want to keep that in mind. The next suit we're going to talk about is diamonds. This is earth energy here. Okay, it's the equivalency to the Pentacles deck. All right, to the Pentacles deck. For me, diamonds represent autumn or fall, because this has a lot of harvest energy. Anytime you're dealing with the earth, it's always going to be about harvesting. Now, you may not harvest good depending on what you put in the ground. You may not harvest bad depending on what you put in the ground. Nevertheless, it is a harvest, okay? So sometimes I would get southern energy from here, only because we're known in the United States, since we are above the equator, most of our harvest comes around this time of the year, from August going into December time. You're most likely to start reaping harvest of most of the stuff that you planted during the winter months going into the spring months of earlier this year, right? Earlier of the year. So sometimes I get southern energy from here, but because this is fall for me, fall, autumn, and I think of beautiful greenery, like the leaves turning crispy colors, I would say this would represent the East Coast. Okay, so the fall would represent the East Coast. All right, whereas you have clubs that represent the South, and for me, hearts will represent the West Coast. Okay, only because of the Pacific Ocean, it's more orientated. Also, it stays a little bit cooler on the West Coast. It doesn't get as hot as it would in the South. And diamonds, I'm sorry, hearts will be more so when I think of like Malibu and Pacific Coast and that kind of thing. Okay, so of course that would leave space to the north because that represents winter. But let's get back into here. Diamonds is going to be indicative of family, roots, like childhood, finances, business, and money matters. Okay. Too many diamonds can speak of materialism and extreme emphasis on monetary gain. It can also point to money woes and money issues. Now, the positive aspects of the diamond suit can reveal stability and security in home, career, family life over a long period of time. Because remember, we're dealing with earth energy. Earth energy tends to be a little bit slower, but more long term over time. Okay, so Earth also deals with chronos, which means the restriction or the measurement of time itself. Okay, we only on Earth do we have the measurement of time in chronos. Okay, the measurement of time. There's no other planet that has the annotation of time being measured. Okay, there's no other such thing as time because we're in the three-dimensional realm. We are measured by chronos. All right, so you're gonna have the law of karma and the law of cause and effect. That rules the three-dimensional realm, especially because of the fact that we're ruled by time, which means you have a beginning and an end with this mortal body, with this particular body. Okay, all right. Unless you're immortal, but that's neither here nor there. Okay, let's get into it. Last but definitely not least, for the general overall meaning of suits, we have the spades. Okay, spades is going to be air energy, the equivalency to the swords suit in the minor arcana. For me, this is winter. When you look up, most of it is going to be winter. Going back to the diamonds, for when I said for me, it represents autumn. It's because if you look up what season, most people put it towards summer, and I just don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. But anyway, spades. Spades is air energy, okay? Air energy. And again, this is winter energy because up north you get more snow, it's cold. So winter is more so the northern states. Okay, so let's say for example you are doing a spread and somebody's like, hey look, I would like to know the geographical location of where what would serve me best to my highest good. I got a new clean slate in my life and I want to see what part of the United States or what part of the world for that matter, what it would look like. Let's just say for the United States, just to make it clean and simple. So you would shuffle, 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 and if most of your spread, let's say you do a 10 card spread or a 20 card spread, if most of the spread comes out as being spades, the north, anywhere up north, anywhere more northern than which he or she is, would work out for them, even if they stayed in the same state. Now it's up to you to either use other forms and tools of divination to help further bring knowledge or like pinpoint where, right? Because you don't want to just lay it all on the line for cartomancy, even though depending on how sharp in your discernment is, you could just use a cartomancy deck. Again, it's how spirit will swing you. Always be led by your discernment by way of your guides and your spirit team. Okay, so when concerning the suits, the overall general information for suits, the suit of spades, is going to often speak on clarity, communication, and thoughts. Spades can be an indication of stress, anxiety, mental anguish, and instability to be at peace. Now, though this air suit can be the heaviest of the deck, it can be used to reassure one to maintain positive thoughts. So if you got a lot of spades coming out, it is going to show you more negative connotation than most. But it's also kind of like a caution from the spiritual realm to the client, to the person that you're reading for, whether it's yourself or your client, that you can turn this around with positive thoughts. A lot of people shy away from the sword suit in the tarot, and they shy away from the spade suit in the cartomancy divination deck tool. But the truth is, all of that is basically giving you clarity to what you cannot see so that you can be able to turn it around. Okay, so what I do want to kind of pinpoint and put on there is most of these cards are going to either be black or red. Now, for me personally, this is crossroad information because we know Papa Legba, we know or Elegba or Elegwa, we know that they are black and red deities, okay? And they stand at the crossroads. It's four suits: summer, spring, winter, fall, up, down, left, right, north, south, east, west. Also, the four elements that we can utilize in the three-dimensional realm, which is earth, air, fire, and water. Okay, now the Joker deck would be the fifth element, which is ether or the source of love. Okay, now usually you have two kind of cards that comes in your standard deck, two different jokers. Of course, we, as the melanated community most likely does, we take the colored joker and we say that's the big joker, and we take the black and white joker, or the one that's devoid of color, or the smaller version, we say that's the baby joker. Now, this does represent the full card. If I were you, it's just a suggestion. You don't have to do how I do, but you can definitely be extremely creative if you want to. What you can do is designate one as the full card and the other one as the world card. One means new beginnings, other one means completion. Or what I like to do is utilize one as the full card. It doesn't matter which one you use as the full card, just choose one. And then the other one as a make-a-wish card for either yourself or the quadrant. This will kind of be like a wink from the universe, letting you know, hey, look, don't get your hopes down, keep your hope alive, have faith. And if it comes out, especially if it just pops out during the reading, that would be like a wink from your spirit team saying, hey, look, we got your back. Make a wish. Make a wish. Have hope. We want you to see this wish come to pass. Okay. So that's always fun. You can always use those. You don't have to put them to the side if you don't want to. You can utilize them in your Cartomancy deck. That's the fun about it. And you can, jokers can be whatever you want them to be. If there's a major arcana card that is sticking out to you the most and you want to designate those two or just one joker deck and put them in there, it's fine. Or if you want to write quotes on your joker deck just to be uplifting or whatever, or one could to be a caution, the other one could be an uplifting encouragement. It's all up to you. That's the beautiful part about using the jokers in Cartomancy. Or you can just leave them out. You don't have to use them at all. It's always up to you. Okay. All right. Now, designating each suit for zodiac signs. You can use Cartomancy as a means to divine for zodiac signs. If someone is coming to you and they're asking you, hey, I want to know the zodiac sign of the next person who may be entering into my life for love, right? Let's say you want to use the Hearts deck. This is going to represent Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio energy. All right. The clubs is going to represent Aries, Leo, Sagittarius energy. Of course, the diamonds going to be Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo energy. And last but definitely not least, you're going to have spades, which is going to be Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra, right? So we have hearts, which is Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio with the water energy. Clubs with the fire energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Diamonds with the earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. And spades, dealing with air energy, Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. You can use those, okay? Now, when it comes to zodiac signs for the number sector, okay? For the number sector. I could break these down into deacons, okay? Let me show you. I'll show you. Okay. For each sign, there are 3 deacons. Each deacon is ruled by a specific planet. Okay. Every deacon has a point of 10 degrees. So from Ace to 3 will be the first deacon. So if you are like me, a Libra, and you are born in September on the cusp, you are most likely falling in the first deacon of Libra, which is ruled by Venus, right? So that's going to be Ace 2, 3. The second deacon is going to be 4, 5, 6, represented by 4, 5, 6, second deacon. Second deacon of Libra could be ruled by some other planet. Okay, I don't know off the top of my head. The third deacon will be 7, 8, 9. Okay, 7, 8, 9. All right. And this could be just your wild, or this could be I don't matter, or it doesn't matter, or I don't know deacon. Okay, so you can program this 10 to be whatever you want it to be. All right. You can program it to be whatever it wants to be. You can say, hey, look, when the 10 comes out, when a quadrant or myself is asking about what deacon does this person fall in, if this 10 comes out, it can say, you know what? Hey, it's just they are who they are. Okay? This could also be Vedic astrology. For example, I'm going to program this one. All my 10s in the deck is going to mean when it comes out that Vedic astrology in this person's chart is way more important than sidereal or Western or tropical. Lord, what is wrong with me? Can I speak? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay. Vedic astrology, which is Eastern Jyotish astrology is way more important than sidereal or Western astrology. Okay, that's what that can mean. All right. And again, you can program it to be whatever. If you didn't want to program the 10 to be that, you can do it on the ace. It's all up to you. Again, if you are familiar with astrology and you like to represent people by way of deacons, like getting into the meat of their zodiac sign by looking at the deacon they fall in, then use that system. You do not, listen to me, you do not have to use this detailed system for deacons when giving a reading for cartomancy. You don't. That is an option, but you do not have to do it like that. Okay, so this is an option that you can use. Only an option. Say it with me. Only an option. I don't have to do it like that. Okay. All right. Now, for each court card, that's dealing with 1 through 10. Now we got 1 through 10s out the way. All right. For each court card, which is going to be highly important for you to pay attention to in each suit, because each court card, which is royal card, is going to actually represent a specific zodiac sign. So if that zodiac sign comes out, okay, I mean, if that specific court card comes out when you are asking about a certain person or your client is, they will come out as a representation of that zodiac sign. Okay, for example, I'll show you. We have the king, the queen, and the jack of clubs right here. All right. The king is known to represent Aries. The queen is known to represent Leo. And the jack is known to represent Sagittarian energy. Okay. Now, it is always good to keep in mind of the planets that are in partnership with these zodiac signs. If you do not know them off the bat, that is okay. Okay, and everything that I'm telling you right now in this introductory video, I will have a cheat sheet available for you very soon, so that way you can have it on you until you learn it, and by way of memory. All right, again, clubs represents Aries, right? King of clubs is going to represent Aries, and I'll give you a cheat sheet as well as far as who this would be the equivalency to. Okay, the king of clubs represent would not represent the emperor in the tarot. Okay, if you wanted to compare it, it would be more closer to the magician card. All right, now again, remember I told you, throw out what you think, what you know, and what you think you know about tarot, because cartomancy is going to be different. But if you had to have a representative of major arcana throughout your cartomancy deck, this would be your magician card, because the king of clubs is very close to the king of wands. This would be your witchiest king in the deck. Okay, because wands or clubs does represent fire, and that would be fire magic. All right, queens will represent Leo energy, even though Leo is masculine and it does represent the lion energy and it has to deal with the sun. She shines from the deck. That's why it's represented by a woman in cartomancy. And of course, the jack is represented by Sagittarius energy. Okay. Again, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell y'all that Aries is ruled by Mars. So you do have Mars or Mauritian energy, which is like the god of war. That kind of somebody who ain't afraid to kick ass. Okay. Jack is going to be, of course, the first deacon of Sag, which would be Jupiter. The traditional ruler is Saturn, which is opposite of Jupiter. Okay, so this could represent someone. For example, if it came out, let's say if it's Jupiter, somebody who is helpful, who's a friend. But if you pick up, again, this is only for advanced people who know the astrology behind the zodiac signs. If you picked up a more traditional energy with the jack, because jacks deals with youthful energy, so they're not going to be as restricted, but Saturn does restrict. This could be somebody who is young but rigid in their thinking. Okay, we're going to break that down. I promise y'all, I won't leave y'all out. I will not leave y'all out. Here with the hearts, we have the king of hearts, which represents Cancerian energy. Okay, we have the queen of hearts that's going to represent Scorpio energy. And then we have the jack, which is going to be representing Piscean energy. Okay. Now this the king of I said cups, huh? I'm sorry, y'all. The King of Hearts. Good Lord, what's going on? The King of Hearts, it being represented by Cancer, this is going to be an intuitive person. Of course, we want to say masculine energy because that's what it's going to represent. However, it can resonate or fall anywhere for anybody. This would be an intuitive male. So remember, the moon card in the tarot is dealing with the high priestess and the chariot. But in cartomancy, the king is intuitive as if he's a female. It's denoting that the king of hearts, which is ruled by Cancer by way of the moon, is an intuitive man because he has made peace and balance with his feminine side. All right. So that is the secret to that. The Queen of Hearts is going to be Scorpion energy. Scorpio, traditional ruler being Pluto. I think it's also sharing with Neptune now. I'm sorry, Uranus, I believe. But we're going to go with Pluto because that brings death and transformational change, which brings a rebirth, okay? The reason why the Queen of Hearts is represented by Scorpio in the Cartomancy deck is because this is a woman who is not just taken away by her emotions. She's emotionally intelligent and you cannot get over on her. Okay? When she's balanced, when this Queen of Hearts in Scorpion energy is balanced, this is a woman who can see bullshit from a mile away and will stand her ground. Versus the Queen of Cups in the tarot deck, which is very kind-hearted and nurturing and kind of can be given over to naivety, okay, or being naive, if I can use that as a lack of a better word, okay? Not saying that she's wrong in the tarot, but this woman here in the Cartomancy deck has more of a footing. Okay, you can't fake it with her that easy. Okay, and the Jack of Hearts here is represented by Piscean energy. So we know that if you don't know, Pisces is ruled by Neptune, which is Poseidon energy. This is the god that is he's able to cast illusions and deceptions by will if need be or if want to. Of course, Jax is always going to represent a novice or someone young, or this could be someone young at heart and spirit, if not in age, okay? I don't do the typical, if it's a red card, it's somebody light skinned or light colored hair or light colored eyes. I don't do that. Some people say the black cards or the black symbols will represent somebody dark skin, dark eyes, dark hair. I don't do that. I don't go by that. I don't believe in that. What I will say is because we're dealing with crossroad energy, I would say, let's say you're doing like an ancestor reading. If you got most fire cards, which when I say red cards come out, you got more petrol spirits than that are present. Rada, which is cool spirits, would be the black cards, okay? Which would be spades and clubs. Even though air and fire fuse each other, it still would be Rada, which would be a more cooler version. Hearts and diamonds would, because it's red, would be represent more of a petrol or fire spirits, which are spirits that will get down what they get down. Most goon energies would appear with red. Okay, not saying that they can't appear with black, but they just, it is what it is. And again, you can read this to your liking. Please, if nothing else, I'm giving you an overload of information so that you can be able to apply what needs to apply to you. Whatever does not apply to you that is being taught, and in this course, you can let it fall down into the river so that it can go down and somebody else can get it out and pluck it out, okay? It's fine. You don't have to apply every single thing. If something doesn't resonate, that's fine. You can move on, all right? But this can represent someone who is young in mind, young in heart, young in spirit, or young in age, or can be a mixture of those, just dealing with a youthful spirit that could actually be someone who understands how to manipulate energy. And that's either bad or good. Again, this all depends on how it falls in the spread. Okay, let's go to spades. Okay, the King of Spades is going to be represented by, now, when I did my research, the King and the Queen was interchangeable. Okay, I put the King as Aquarian energy, even though it came out as Libra energy in most of the stuff that I was looking at. Okay, the king, and what I think is because of the old traditional cartomancy versions, the king was the one that usually gave justice on behalf of the querent or the person that was questioning to the questioner. However, I didn't feel that energy. So what I did was I switched. I put the king as Aquarius energy and I put the woman as the Libran energy. But again, let me explain, okay? Because it's two suits that are like this. Spades and diamonds, okay? And I want to be extremely clear. The king of spades and the king of spades and the queen of spades, they can interchange between Aquarius and Libran energy. All right? At any given time, and you're going to have to use discernment, this king can turn into Aquarian energy. All right? It can. This queen of spades can turn into Libran energy. But for me, king of spades, I have as Aquarius. All right? Someone who is forward thinking, someone who is a leader, someone who is innovative. I have, for me, the queen of spades as Libra energy because she sits on her throne. She is quick on her feet. She is quick-witted. She knows she's reasonable. She's logical in her thinking, and she has a perfect balance between head and heart. Okay, that's what makes for me a great judge. So this is the judge in my deck. All right, and then with the Jack of Spades, this is going to be Gemini energy. Gemini energy to me is the most youthful out of the air decks. When I did see across the board, I do believe that Gemini came out for Jacks, so I don't see that being interchangeable. Gemini energy, okay. Also, you have out of 4 suits, 2 suits only have one-eyed jacks. Okay, the Jack of Spades, which is Gemini. This could be a laugh now, cry later. And the Jack of Hearts. You see how they're one-eyed? Okay. The Jack of Clubs and the Jack of Diamonds are both faced. They are face jacks, which means you can see their whole face. All right. So you can always use that as a means of what that may say to you when you are doing readings. All right. When you are doing readings, that could mean something to you. All right. Last but definitely not least, the diamond suit for the king, Capricorn. This does not move. This is set. Okay. Capricorn energy. Okay. I'm sorry. Let me go back. King or Aquarius energy. Saturn and Mercury, I feel fights to rule over Aquarian energy. Okay. So you might want to take it as it resonates. Again, that's why I said Aquarian energy can be a little fickle. It can be. Because it has the ability to interchange, and we're living in the age of Aquarius, so you do have to use discernment when this King of Swords energy comes up. Libra, of course, is ruled by Venus. Gemini is going to be ruled by Mercury. All right, so Mercurian energy, this could be talks. Always, just across the board, Jacks a lot of the time can actually represent a person, whether male or female, and most likely it's always going to be dealing with communication or the lack thereof. Across the board, that's just a general. Okay, you don't have to set it that way, just use discernment as a general. That's just what it is. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to do diamonds. King of Diamonds is going to be Capricorn. Capricorn energy is ruled by, wow, ain't that something? I'm gonna have to put it down low in the comment section. Okay, just a little list of rulers or whatever. Yeah, I just blacked out so for a minute. Capricorn being ruled by, I want to say Saturn, restrictive, right? I know I'm talking about Saturn a lot today. It must be on purpose. The Queen of Diamonds is going to be interchangeable with the Jack of Diamonds. Okay? Now, some sources say the Queen of Diamonds is Taurosian energy, which is Taurus. And some say the Jack of Diamonds is Virgo energy. For me, I programmed her to be Virgo energy. Okay? Queen of Diamonds, Virgo energy. This, for me, represents a woman. And the reason why I put her as Virgo is because when I think of the Queen of Diamonds, I think of somebody who has the ability to take a little and make a lot out of. Okay, Virgo has a lot to do with, even though it's the Virgin, she's pregnant all the time. She's pregnant all the freaking time. Virgo the Virgin, it has the ability to create a lot out of a little, which means to you give it to her, she'll multiply it and birth it to you. Okay, I'm using the Jack of Diamonds as Taurosian energy or Taurus energy. And it's because I feel that out of those three, out of Capricorn, Virgo, and Taurus, I feel that Taurus is the youngest energy out of those three elemental for Earth zodiac signs. Taurus energy is going to be Taurusian energy for me is the slowest moving of all three earth signs, because Capricorn and Virgo has the ability to become workaholics, whereas Taurusian energy, which is represented by the bull, aka ox, they're very slow moving, and they're younger energy, which means they have the tendency to play life. They play their teens and their 20s away. Okay, they're not going to rush into getting serious until most likely later on in life. So this could represent a person who's very jovial, that kind of person, upbeat, but a person who can have a tendency to be lazy if they don't put their goals first and actually move toward it. But this person has the power to be one of the richest in the earth signs once they put their minds to what they want, because you have a hard time slowing bulls down. Oxes and bulls cannot be slowed down very easy. It's like a train. Once they get going and they have momentum, you can get ran over if you try to slow them down. That's the really good thing about when they start making money. They don't play. All right. So again, just to go over it, we got clubs dealing with fire energy, spades dealing with air energy, hearts dealing with water energy, and we got diamonds dealing with earth energy. Okay, you want to use these suits again by way of how you feel. How do you feel when you are again gelling with your cards? How you're utilizing your card deck? How is it coming out? What is it? How is it going to be speaking to you? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down each card and each suit of each card. I mean, each card of each suit, and give you the overall standard all the way around for each card. What is most common for that definition of that specific card? All right. But as you begin to use cartomancy, you're going to find that that you're going to feel other energies coming forth. No matter what deck you use, whether it's cartomancy, tarot, or oracle, please use your discernment. No one can tell you at the end of the day how to thoroughly read cards except for your guides. I gel well with my decks differently than someone else would. Some people would sleep with their decks. I don't. Some people, I mean, and if I'm called to put something up underneath my pillow, then hey, it just is what it is. You got to follow, again, the spiritual realm. Follow how they are leading you. I also want to break down, before I get into the video of breaking down the suits, I want to show y'all a little trick. Okay. Now, this part I am going to give on my live. And the only reason why I'm going to give on my live is because this would be helpful information for anybody who is learning tarot, cartomancy, or whatever. Okay. This part, don't worry about this particular part. What I'm getting ready to say next is going to be for public, but it's not going to be made public on this specific video, which is for y'all. Okay. Spades. I'm going to help y'all by using 4 suits of the either minor arcana or cartomancy deck. But we're going to use the cartomancy, okay? The law, the true laws on how to manifest and make a goal reality. All right? There are specific spiritual laws that are hidden in each suit. Okay? Spades is the law of attraction. Spades or swords is the law of attraction. This is where your thoughts are. It is important to maintain positive thoughts because your thoughts eventually becomes things. So the law of attraction. So when you're dealing with this and the law of attraction, let's say you got a lot of spades coming out in your suits, or to use the tarot, a lot of swords in your suit. This is going to be talking about the law of attraction with your thoughts, changing your thoughts, getting more positive thoughts, taking out the negative thoughts, okay? Because now the spiritual law that is talking to you the most is the law of attraction. Again, thought process. When you got, let's say you want to see which law is jumping out at you the most, what law you want to see where you have a problem with, where you want to pinpoint, this is what I'm showing you right now. Hearts is going to be the law of vibration because it's feelings. Hearts or cups deals with emotions. It's going to be the law of vibration that goes along with feeling, that causes the thought to be translated into feeling, thus birthing the materialization of that thought. I'm going to say that again. The law of vibration goes along with feeling that causes the thought to be translated into feeling, thus birthing the materialization of that thought. Okay? So what that means is if these cards come out, if all these hearts come out, majority of the time, you have a problem with the law of vibration. You have to recalibrate yourself. See what techniques will help you the most to be able to feel, to help you get into the energy of feeling. So your thoughts is not a problem. So the law of vibration may be an issue. What techniques can I use to feel what I think to bring it into reality, okay? Wands, which is going to be clubs. Fire, action. This is represented by the law of inspired action. One must actively pursue one's goals and take steps, whether they're big or small, toward what you seek. So it's not just the law of attraction, which is thoughts, law of vibration, which is feeling. You have to take active 3-dimensional steps toward what you want in your life, okay? It's not going to fall out the sky by osmosis. It's always going to be either someone's going to take a step towards you or you're going to take a step towards them or it in order for it to materialize in the 3D. That's just the way it is. Laws of inspired action. Last but not least, diamonds, which is earth energy. This is going to be the law of compensation, also known as the law of reciprocity. This is also going to be known as the law of sowing and reaping, harvest, right? Getting out what you've put in. So 4 major laws of the universe that you want to keep toward each suit is going to be the law of attraction with spades, law of vibration, hearts, law of inspired action, wands, or clubs, and diamonds, law of compensation. If you do those things at what I just said and do a spread to see which one you have a problem with and you need to work on, and it comes out which one of those are the most, listen, if you do this, you will literally recalibrate your life to become a manifestation machine. That is a secret of tarot and cartomancy that nobody else has taught on. So you've heard it first here. And I'm going to end it there. I love y'all. I'm going to be coming back with the first suit that we're going to be getting into. Until then, till next time, y'all, but stay safe and stay beautiful like y'all always are. Love you.